سلام، اسم من سهیلا است. من سال سوم
私は、大体
دانشجو
4
هم
年ぐら
در
い前にア
دانشگاه
メリカに来て、
UCLA رشته
最初は
مهندسی
استراتژی
و
Language is actually like a key, and then you want to be able to have a key in your pocket so you can open the doors and then just look outside, look inside, what's going on behind the door.
I think it really opens your horizons, makes you see things in a different perspective.
I think language gives you an opportunity to bond and communicate with people.
For me, learning another language allows me to connect with a lot of different cultures.
Language is a really big part of culture. And you don't really, if you don't know a language that a person speaks, you're missing out on all these interesting and sometimes small things that make that person who they are.
Now that I'm able to speak Mandarin and Cantonese fluently, I'm also able to connect with communities who primarily speak Cantonese or Mandarin, and I can get into like their bubble in a sense, and it's definitely allowed me to see a lot on how different communities work.
I kind of get like the mentality of the people through the language. I learned like their culture and the way they act and the way they interact, and wherever I am, I change a little bit like my myself to adapt to the culture or the country where I am.
Language is how we interact with the world, how we describe the world. So I think that learning the language gives a broader perspective on the world at large.
Because of my exposure to a lot of different languages and cultures, it has made me more open and willing to try new things, just like in all aspects of life.
It shined a light on a lot of the smaller things that I do every day that I thought everyone did, but not everyone does. Studying Japanese has changed my life, and that has helped me to appreciate what we have here in America, but also appreciate what the rest of the world may be up to as well.
And it brings a lot of creativity to learn another language. I think just learn math or physics or chemistry it's great, but learning a language will bring you this kind of creativity that those fields would not bring you.
I think knowledge has width and depth. Like your major or anything you're specialized with is like the depth, but also you need the width in order to think more, to be able to be more creative. So if you know a language, you actually really broadens your knowledge and then just be able to do more, be able to have a sharper logic.
In the world, you're not just meeting people of the same kind. And knowing the language, yes, you can speak English, but it's like, you know, you're taking the time to not only know their language, but know about them.
What are you gonna do with English? Not everybody speaks English. For example, you go to France, you find everybody's gonna speak English, or in Spain, or Portugal, or China. What do you do?
Oftentimes it's very easy to see that American culture is American culture, and it seems like it's the default culture if you haven't been exposed to very many others.
I think our world, our lives are becoming ever more international and connected. The world's getting smaller in a way, and so just because you might think like, oh, I'm an engineering major, I don't need language. That's not true, because we're working on a global economy, we're communicating with people from all over the world, even our like international students here or professors, things like that. Everyone has a different background. Just gives you another opportunity to communicate and bond with people.
There's not much emphasis on learning a language, foreign language, because people think it won't help them. But I mean, you don't know where you're going to be in later life, and you never know what's going to be helpful and what's not. So I definitely recommend learning a foreign language, because it helped me get into the JET program, which is where I'm going to be teaching in Japan next year. So you never know.
The fact that I can speak these multiple languages has helped me build a more international network as well.
Nowadays, I think it's a very good quality when there's so many people who apply for jobs. I think it shows that you're a little bit out of the box, and it's a good thing.
So even if it's not a part of your major requirement, it's an awesome opportunity, I would think, as a UCLA student to potentially learn a language that you may never have learned otherwise. So yeah, I think everyone should take language classes, just if for no other reason than to be more so exposed to different cultures and history in our